Hello, and welcome to Lel's Little Budget on this super sunny Sunday. It is January the 4th. Happy New Year, everyone. The world returns to some sort of normality tomorrow, and I thought this was the perfect time to pop on and just do my goal setting with you guys for the year. This is the goal setting that specifically relates to like my budgeting journey and like my business around it. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So there are 7 goals in total. Goal number 1. So if you've been here for a while, you will know that my daughter is a competitive cheerleader. We are off to Germany in May for a competition where they will be trying out for a bid for Youth Summit over in the States. We are going for 5 nights, and we have finally booked our hotel, and we need to pay that by May the 17th. So goal number 1 is to have the £316 for the hotel put away by May the 17th. So I will be setting up a new challenge specifically for this into the new cheer binder. I will also be setting up a new challenge specifically for this one, which relates to the above, which is to have the £339 for the flights paid by the 20th of July. Now, the flights are already paid for. They are on a 0% credit card, whereas the hotel isn't paid for at all. So I'm giving myself a little bit longer to pay the flights off. I have already paid the first £80 off of that, but I'm just giving myself that little bit of grace just because there are other cheer competitions this year as well, which we don't yet have prices for tickets and that sort of thing for. So the cash that is currently in the cheer envelope will go towards those tickets. I have got 2 lots of tickets to book this month. One I know is £26.50, which is for her first competition of the season, and the other one I'm hoping that details will come out in this next week because it is their like a club showcase. So prices of that depends on how many of us are going to watch her. But I want to use the cash in the binder to pay for those sort of things. So goal number 1 and goal number 2 relate to each other. By having it paid off by July the 20th as well, that means that it's paid off before the end of this particular cheer season. Her cheer season, her last competition is very end of June, and then they have a couple of weeks of like pre-tryouts and that sort of thing still, so it just means that everything will be paid off before the next season starts. So yeah, so because of that, goal number 3 is to have earned £3,000 by the end of the year in the Lel's Little Budget Etsy shop. I need to side hustle, and I need to side hustle hard this year. Like to contribute to the above, but also because if you've been here for the last few months, you will realise how much I've been struggling with the toxicity in my employed job. Getting paid from that job is an absolute nightmare. And that's all I'm going to say on it. There's a lot that I could say. I'm just not going to at this point. But yeah, so I'd like to earn £3,000 from this Etsy shop by the end of the year. The more that I can earn at the start of the year, the better. It does work out to around £250 a month, which seems like a nice small total, but I set myself a goal for the last week of £25, and so far I'm at 0, so I'm aware it's going to be a process. I am, however, designing and adding lots of different bits into the shop, and I plan to have like 1 video a week, every week, that sort of shows some of like the new designs that I've been making and using. And I always use my designs first as well. 1, to save money from buying from other places. I'll build myself up to that point. And 2, just to make sure that the challenges work how they're supposed to. So yeah, £3,000 for the Lel's Little Budget Etsy shop would be lovely. Goal number 4 is to have reduced Loan 1 by 50% by the 31st of December. Now, I started cash stuffing, I think my first video was early February of 2025, so I'm coming up to a year at this point. When I started cash stuffing, I think I had 6 credit cards, and they were all on really high interest rates, had high balances. My spending was, I wouldn't say it was out of control, but I wasn't conscious of my spending. If I wanted something, I would just go, I'll just put it on the credit card. Now, I'm not like a massive spender anyway, and some of this as well is when COVID happened, and I'm aware that it was like 5 years ago at this point, both my husband and myself were full-time self-employed. We had two very young children at that point as well. And we didn't have an emergency fund. We didn't have any savings. We didn't have anything. So to have had that first 9 weeks when nobody could work, we couldn't be furloughed. And we had to wait for the self-employed support to come in. So we'd got in a position where we were literally scraping by. So there was credit card debt from there as well. I'm not justifying it, I'm just explaining it. But yeah, so to have sat down at the start of last year to have moved their credit cards to loans, I do still have a 0% credit card that doesn't have a very high balance on it. It was taken out purposely for knowing that this was going to happen, just to give myself a little bit of breathing room, like if it was needed. It does have a small balance on it because I did do some emotional spending on it in the summer of 2025, but I have spoken about that, and that we're paying the balance off as well. So, so I moved everything over to loans instead, and it was the best thing that I could have done because the amount of interest that I was paying on those credit cards, like even making high monthly payments or what was high for my budget, I wasn't getting anywhere. So to have done this was the best thing that I could have done. Now, I split it over 2 loans. They are both quite small loans and they both have a 3-year payoff date, and that was why I did it over the 2. The monthly payments of the 2 loans combined is less than what I was paying out on credit cards, and obviously they have an end date. I thought at the point that I took both of the loans out that I could pay both of them off early and make additional payments towards them. Loan 1 I can. This is my slightly smaller loan. Loan 2 I can't, and I'm not sure how that's worked because I'm pretty sure that I intentionally took both of those loans because I could do like those additional extra payments. I may be able to. It might just be that it's a slightly more complicated way of doing it for loan 2 than it is loan 1. So all of that to say, I would like to have paid half of 50% of loan 1 off by the end of this year. And then I can hopefully get loan 1 paid off earlier so that then rather than making small additional payments to loan 2, I can adjust my minimum payment and reduce my term instead. I think that's what I was trying to say. A bit of a long convoluted way to do it. I had filmed this video once already. I got down to my last goal and then I had a realisation about something at work that is probably going to cause a problem, and it threw me off track. So this is me re-recording. Right, goal number 5 is to have saved £1,000 for Christmas by November the 30th. So I don't normally save for Christmas until towards the end of the year, and I usually use the money that comes in from my main Etsy shop to fund Christmas. I don't know what I saved this year because although I started tracking and using my challenges and that sort of stuff, I got to a point where I wasn't far enough ahead and I was taking money out at the same time as putting money back in, so I lost all sense of tracking, and I don't want to do that this year. I have put the Christmas budget up a little bit for next year, and hopefully we can get to that. If we can't, it's not the end of the world. I'm absolutely okay with that, but that is the goal. Sort of somewhere between that sort of £700 and £1,000 would be lovely. I still won't start saving for Christmas until after March. And my binders will have a little bit of a change quarterly this year, I think. But it's all a process. I haven't even been doing this a year yet, and we will see where we end up. But that's the goal. So goal number 6 is also to have £1,000 in the month ahead fund. Now, I don't call my month ahead fund my emergency fund. It's the month ahead fund intentionally because I'm very aware that some months, especially the months where my pay is less from my employed income, that I can dip into it to make sure that all of my essential regular bills are covered. My job doesn't come with a huge amount of stability. My hours are completely irregular from month to month. It's the nature of the job that I do, and that's okay. But yeah, so the goal is to have £1,000 a month ahead by the end of the year. If I have to dip into it throughout the year, that's absolutely okay. It is what will happen. That's what it is there for, and that's why it is not an emergency fund. And then goal number 7 for the month, again, talking about side hustling massively this year and different streams of income coming in. I would really love to get to 1,000+ subscribers on this channel, and I would really love for this channel to be monetized, just so that it's another branch of income coming in from somewhere different. So yeah, I've got a really long way to go on it. I think I'm at like 103 subscribers at the moment, and I am trying my hardest to not like be competing against other people. Like, I'm aware that like it is a vanity statistic realistically, but equally, if I can have that extra income coming in from somewhere else, I am all for it. So yeah, that's my feelings on it. So that is my goals for the year. There are 7. We may add to them throughout the year. We may realise that a couple of these are unrealistic and have to adjust them. But that's okay. Like, things are fluid. Money is fluid. But I really want to spend the year feeling like I'm not coming from a place of scarcity. And I think that is something that I've really struggled with over the last couple of years. Like, I come from a background of low income, but I don't want to keep that going forward. I also need to balance that with the fact that I have 2 children. We do home educate. One of my children is looking to go back to school in February, which is absolutely fine. One of my children, however, I highly, highly doubt will return back into school education. So I do have to balance that. I have to balance the family needs as well. And that's okay. But yeah, like I said earlier, I've been cash stuffing for nearly a year at this point, and it genuinely has changed the way I look at money massively. I've spent a lot of this year doing a lot of like financial literacy and financial education for my children, so that they can grow up feeling like they know what happens with money. Like, I'm talking a lot with my son lately about compound interest. And when they get their pocket money every month, they have to put 25% of their pocket money away. And it is going to be going into a children's ISA, which does bring me to the point. If anybody has any recommendations for any children's ISAs, I am all ears. I'm looking to set their ISAs up this week. But yeah, if anybody's got any recommendations of who to put them with, then that would be brilliant. That is it from me for today. That is my 7 goals for the year. Please do leave your comments below of what your goals are, or just leave us a little emoji or a little comment. Let us know that you have watched along. And I will see you tomorrow for Mini Mondays, as well as later in the week for my first little video of the additional little challenges that I have been adding to the shop this week. And I do have one little bonus cash stuffing. It's going to be the only bonus cash stuffing I do this month, because I think I want to change it so that any side hustle money that I earn, I put into my binders all in one go at the end of the month. And that is another thing this month which is going to affect me. My 3rd job, which I work, which the money always goes straight into my binders. I normally keep like £10 for me and put everything else into binders. I'm not working that job in January. The work isn't there for me. So I've taken another little hit there as well. So the more money that I can earn from Lil's Little Budget, the better. But yeah, so I will see you a couple of times this week. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.